Welcome to the deep dive. So you've brought us a really interesting source today.
Yeah, it's a sales page for a guide called the Baby Sleep Miracle Guide by someone named Mary-Ann Schuler.
A sales page. Okay, so it's designed to persuade, obviously. Full of claims, I imagine. Testimonials.
Exactly. Claims, testimonials, user comments, and importantly, some fine print, some caveats we need to look at.
Right. So our mission here is basically to dissect what this specific page is telling us.
That's the plan. We're looking just at the material presented here, the ideas, the solutions it claims to offer for, those nightmare baby sleep problems.
And understanding the angle it takes, based purely on this text.
Yep. What's it actually saying?
Okay. And let's face it, anyone who's been near a baby knows about sleep deprivation. It's brutal.
Oh, absolutely. Soul-crushing is a good word for it.
So when you see something promising, simple holistic solutions, it definitely grabs your attention.
It really does. You're desperate for anything that might work. So our goal is to see how this page taps into that feeling and what kind of answers it holds out.
Because there's just so much advice out there, isn't there? It's overwhelming.
Totally. And this one calls itself a miracle. So yeah, let's just break down the message, what's highlighted, what's promised, and what else is kind of hidden in plain sight.
Okay, let's get into it. The page hits you right away with a big number, doesn't it?
It does. Claims thousands of mothers regulate their child's sleeping pattern holistically using this method every year.
Thousands. And it frames it like this is brand new information.
Sort of. It says child psychologists and clinical researchers are revealing it for the first time, which sounds impressive.
It mixes that natural, holistic feel with, scientific authority. Clever.
Very. Tries to sound gentle and backed by science. And then there's the huge promise. Simple and customized steps that work for any baby.
Any baby.
Yeah.
That's a massive claim. When you're struggling, that's exactly what you want to hear, isn't it? That there's one thing that'll fix your specific problem.
Absolutely. The universality is a huge draw.
So what specifics does it offer? It lists some intriguing points. The first one seems key.
Yeah. Highlighted right up top. The most common bedtime mistake, which keeps your little one from sleeping.
Ooh, a mistake. Something I might be doing wrong.
Exactly. And they attach a number. Over 45% of parents do this wrong.
45%? Wow. Does it say where that number comes from?
Nope. No source, no details on the page itself. But you see why it's there, right? It makes you immediately wonder, is that me? Am I making this simple mistake?
Definitely. It creates that immediate need-to-know feeling, like maybe this is the simple fix I've missed.
It offers hope, suggesting the problem isn't some deep, complex thing, just maybe one common error.
Makes sense. What's the next big technique it mentions?
It gets a bit more conceptual. It talks about helping your child sleep by emptying his emotional backpack.
Emotional backpack. For a baby, that's quite an image.
Isn't it? It's described as an easy technique recommended by Dr. Laura Markham.
Okay, so referencing another expert there, what's the idea behind it?
Well, the page suggests it's about releasing pent-up emotions or stress. The idea being that even babies have stuff going on emotionally that can mess with sleep.
Right. Unresolved feelings keeping them awake.
Yeah. And addressing that can help them sleep better. It even claims it can improve your own health, too.
Connecting the baby's calm to the parent's well-being. That makes sense. Less stress all around.
Yeah, if the baby's calmer, the parent probably is, too. The phrase emotional backpack certainly makes you curious about what the actual technique involves.
It really does. Okay, so we have the common mistake, the emotional technique, and then it throws a curveball, right? Something about noise.
It does. This one seems to go against everything you think you know. It highlights the counterintuitive reason why your child sleeps best in a noisy environment.
Noisy, really. When everyone tells you dark room, quiet, maybe some white noise.
Exactly. It directly challenges that. Flies in the face of the tiptoeing around instinct.
So what's the claim here? Just any noise?
No, it says there's a specific noise. Only one, apparently. Scientifically proven to help a baby doze off peacefully.
Okay, scientifically proven. Does it back that up?
It mentions a specific study. It refers to a little-known study done by the Queen Charlotte's Hospital in London.
Citing a specific hospital and study, even without a link, adds that layer of credibility, doesn't it?
It really does. Makes it sound like, see? Real research behind this surprising idea.
Okay, so just to recap the main hooks. Thousands helped. A secret common mistake, this unique emotional technique, and a counterintuitive noise thing backed by a specific study reference. Strong promises.
Definitely designed to pull people in, and the page offers a free presentation to get you started, which then leads to buying the actual guide. It mentions a price of $37.
Right. Now, beyond those main points, the comments section on the page adds another layer. We see users interacting.
Yeah, the comments are interesting. You see someone like Marilla Cruz saying it really works. Her son's sleep improved dramatically in a week.
That kind of personal story, right there on the page, builds social proof.
For sure. And another comment from Judy Lee saying she was truly impressed with the free info and felt the author truly cares about mothers. That speaks to building an emotional connection.
The questions people ask are revealing too, like Samantha Higgins mentioning dangers of baby swings, suggests the guide covers more than just sleep techniques.
Good point. And then Regina Wilberth asks a really key question. She asks if this method is like the ones from Dr. Bucknam, Dr. Weissbluth, or Dr. Karp.
Ah, the big names in baby sleep. Ferber,
Yeah.
Weissbluth, Karp.
Exactly. So Regina's question shows that people landing here might have already tried those well-known methods. Maybe they didn't work, and now they're looking for something different.
That's really important context. It sets this guide up as potentially an alternative.
And the author, Mary-Ann Schuler, actually replies directly to Regina.
Oh, what does she say?
She says, quite clearly, the short answer is no.
So, directly positioning her method as different.
Yes. She reinforces that her techniques are based on newest scientific research and claims she's never seen any approach similar. This links back to that initial claim about researchers revealing something new.
She's really emphasizing the uniqueness. There's another question too, isn't there? About autism.
Yeah, Chloe Jackson asks if the method works for a child with autism. Shows parents are bringing complex situations to the table.
And the author's reply.
Mary-Ann tells Chloe, I made sure my method can be used with any child, even babies who are special like yours. So again, reinforcing that works for any baby idea.
But isn't there something really important right after that reassurance?
Yes, this is critical. Immediately after saying it works for any child, she adds this sentence. Please note that I'm not a doctor and that I always advise to consult with your physician because nothing is more important than the safety and well-being of your love.
Wow. Okay. Right there in the comments. A huge disclaimer.
Exactly. She claims it's universal, but immediately follows up by stating she's not a doctor and strongly advising professional medical consultation. That's significant.
And it's not just buried in one comment reply, is it?
Not at all. This message is repeated much more formally down in the disclaimer section. You know, the bit at the bottom most people probably scroll past.
Ah, the official legal part. What does that say?
It explicitly states the content and the product are based on the author's opinion and provided as S and as available.
Author's opinion. That lands very differently from the clinical researchers revealing language earlier on the page.
Completely different framing.
Yeah.
And the disclaimer goes on to say you, the user, should do your own research, confirm information elsewhere, and always review everything carefully with your doctor before trying anything from the guide.
So, the responsibility is firmly placed on the user to verify and get professional advice first.
Absolutely. And it explicitly says neither the author nor the retailer, ClickBank, are providing medical advice. It states the information is not intended to replace medical advice offered by a physician. Standard stuff for this kind of product, legally speaking.
Okay. So we have this clear tension. On the one hand, really compelling marketing claims, unique, holistic, thousands helped, fixing common mistakes, secret techniques.
All designed to resonate deeply with exhausted, desperate parents.
But on the other hand, right there in the source itself, in comments and the formal disclaimer, you have these crucial warnings.
Yeah, author's not a doctor. It's opinion-based, no guarantees, absolutely not a substitute for medical advice, and a strong recommendation to see a professional first.
Looking at the whole page, that contrast really jumps out, the persuasive sell versus the necessary legal and ethical warnings.
It really does. And it highlights why, especially with health stuff, you have to read everything. The exciting claims are just one part. The disclaimers are equally, if not more, important for understanding what's actually being offered and its limitations.
It's a fascinating look at how marketing in sensitive areas works, isn't it? Balancing the hook with the required caveats.
Definitely. It shows that even in sales material, critical context is often there if you look for it.
And it hammers home the point, especially with kids' health, that no online guide or sales page, no matter how convincing it sounds,
Can replace actual medical advice from a qualified professional. They're supplemental maybe, but always need that expert oversight.
Okay, so let's quickly recap what we pulled from this sales page deep dive. We saw the big claims, helping thousands, a unique, holistic method based on science.
Right, highlighting specific things like the common bedtime mistake, the emotional backpack idea, the surprising noise tip, citing that London hospital study.
All very intriguing. But then we contrasted that with the vital context provided within the same source,
Yeah, the author's own comments saying she's not a doctor, her method is just unique in her view, and especially the formal disclaimer.
which clearly states its opinion, not medical advice, and that consulting a doctor is essential for safety.
Absolutely essential.
So for you listening, this look at just one source of sales page really underscores something important. Understanding any information, especially about health, means going beyond the headline promises.
You have to actively look for and consider all the context, the disclaimers, the statements about what the advice is and isn't.
It forces you to think critically, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do you weigh that exciting promise of a solution against the less flashy but crucial advice to seek professional help?
Yeah, what's the responsibility there? For the person selling, sure, but also for us as consumers, especially when it involves our kids, we have to prioritize safety and actual expertise.
It leaves us with a final thought to chew on. In this world flooded with online information and clever marketing, how do you personally navigate that line? How do you decide when a potential solution needs to be checked against the advice of a qualified expert, especially for health matters?
It's a tricky balance, for sure. Something we all need to think about.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the layers of a sales page.